So this is who I am. So I was president of Cryonics Institute for 9 years, and now I'm working for the Life Extension Foundation since 2012. Now I was going to talk about just these organizations, but then I found out Australia is not being represented, and I decided to add a few new organizations in the U.S. And I got some angry messages from Russia, CryoSuisse last night, saying that they're angry that they weren't here, and I guess there was some misunderstanding. There was no poor communication, but anyway, so I threw this in at the last minute. So it's a whirlwind tour of a lot of countries. Just one thing I've noticed is a lot of that's been accomplished is due to highly motivated individuals. Cryonics Institute, basically, Robert Andrew really led that, and Alco was founded by Fred and So I'll start with Argentina. This is one guy who's really been driving cryonics in Argentina, Rudy Goya, and there's a picture of him with me. And he's a CI member. He's a biogerontologist at the School of Medicine, La Plata. And so I visited there in June 2012 when I was still president of Cryonics Institute, and I had an interview by a journalist, and that interview led to many other interviews. And Rudy arranged for me to give a lecture to nearly 30 academics at the La Plata School of Medicine. They seemed quite respectful and listening to me. And he also arranged a meeting with Argentina transhumanists. These are people at the meeting, and this was a guy who's written the Spanish language transhumanist book. And they're currently still attempting to develop procedures for shipment to the United States, and they're cooperating with the Spanish groups. India is basically driven by this guy. What I know about it, he's a successful businessman. He's been trying to develop procedures in India for shipment to the U.S. and he's got a lot of pieces of a cryonic system, and nothing really fits together very well, and nothing is operational. He arranged for me to meet with a funeral director family in Mumbai last month, John Pinto. And he and his two sons are only certified embalmers in India. They were trained and certified in the U.S. and UK. Very few people are embalmed in India. It's just costly to do embalming. Everybody gets cremated, basically. But some people are embalmed. And John Pinto has 20 offices in 27 cities. He manufactures his own coffins. He's got a warehouse with 1,000 coffins. I'm not sure why he needs all these coffins. But anyway, he's very interested in providing cryonic services to Indians. So I spent a couple hours with him explaining what he would need to do. And he's even suggested that he would be willing to take training at Cryonics UK and visit the Cryonics Institute. I always recommend Cryonics UK to people overseas or out of the U.S. for training. As you may know, that's the Pinto family, and with one of his sons. The other son wasn't there. Both sons are embalmers as well as himself. And this is the equipment that Nadir has accumulated, and it's just pieces. It doesn't really, it's not really much functional on there. There's mirage. There's mirage between John and myself and his wife. And there's where they're manufacturing coffins in the back. So China. And in this case, we got a very another successful businessman got offices in the U.S. Offering translation services, and he's open to develop procedures for preparation shipment for cryonics patients to the U.S. And he arranged me to tour China in June and September at his expense. He's got a Cryonics Asian office in Shanghai with 2 full-time employees, another office in Beijing. Cryonics Asia is misleading because he's only interested in China. There's me and Le Guan in Tiananmen Square, and there's me and Le Guan with his 2 employees in the Shanghai office, and there's his Beijing office. So I mentioned that almost everybody's cremated in India. Well, they pretty well have to be cremated in China because the Chinese government is pretty draconian. You know, they're an authoritarian regime, and so it's also obviously they're paying for everything. They're paying for everything, so they want to. That's the. Hit the wrong button, not paying attention to the screen instead of. Alright. So anyway, even if you're in one part of China and you're away from home and you die, you can't even be shipped back to your home without being cremated first. So that makes it very difficult to practice cryonics, as you can imagine. And so Le Guin is basically focused on marketing to try to change public opinion. The laws is translated Editor's Prospect of Immortality in the Chinese. I wrote the introduction for that. And he's given the book to nearly 2,000 libraries. He arranged for me to be interviewed by a journalist from China's largest popular technology magazine. Now he's thinking it's best to try to offer his services in Hong Kong and Taiwan and hope the Chinese laws will change. Now there's another organization, the Infang Cord Blood Institute, and they're the largest facility storing cord blood and liquid nitrogen in China. And they're actually now investing $2 million to develop a cryonics facility for perfusion, cool down, and storage. And they're paying a generous salary to the former employee, Alcor employee Aaron Drake. Aaron still does contract work for Alcor when he's in the U.S. and not in China. He goes back and forth between the two countries. He's got the Institute has very sophisticated cryonics equipment, which I was allowed to see but not photograph. And the cryonics patients will be classified as research subjects. And Le Guin Yan does not think that the Chinese government will allow this for more than a few cryonics patients. And that this is just shows you how large this facility is, all the cord blood that they have stored in liquid nitrogen. And there's Le Guin in the middle between myself and Aaron Drake and a couple of the infant employees. Now I'll move on to Canada. Christine Gasper, I think, is a prime mover now, but they do have a very active group in Toronto, most active in Canada for sure. And Christine is a CI member in the Toronto area. She's an emergency medicine nurse currently employed by Alcor to write their case reports. And so she goes back and forth between Phoenix and Toronto. And she's storing an Alcor kit and a CI kit on her farm. She arranged for an Alcor training in Toronto in 20 case reports. And so she goes back and forth between Phoenix and Toronto. And she's storing an Alcor kit and a CI kit on her farm. She arranged for an Alcor training in Toronto in 2014. And she inspires to create a Canadian storage facility, but more immediately she wants to get a suspended animation type service for Canada. And there's Christine. And here's the training that we had in 2014. It was in this guy's garage. He's another one of the big activists in the Toronto group, and there's me, of course. And there's another picture of the training. There's Aaron Drake delivering the training. And there's Aaron Drake with Christine's sister. So outside of Toronto, this future electronics billionaire, Robert Miller, has an Alcor kit in Montreal. And the Alcor kits are planned for Ottawa and Vancouver. The British Columbia law prohibits marketing of cryonics in Canada. Lifespan Society of British Columbia has challenged this law in court as being unconstitutional, and back and forth between the society and the law courts, and the society is expecting to prevail. Australia, the Stasis System Australia is the group that wants this storage perfusion facility, city of Hopewell, compared to what you see at the Cryonics Institute or Alcor. And,
or CryoSuisse.
Anyway, so, and then this, as they say, their cryonics facility is a few miles away from their office, and they've been building this up for last year and only opened for business in the beginning of November. But having looked at the facility, you know, they really aren't ready to handle the patient yet, but there's still more work to be done, in my opinion. Anyway, it's an overview, and there's another overview, and that's a close-up of the ice bath and the door. And this patient, this is perfusing the patients, the blood and the ice, water, and so forth run out through this hole. And this is their cooling box. The cooling box, you know, just the day I got there, the cooling box hasn't been outfitted for cooling. There was no way of getting liquid night. Anyway, that's the cooling box. So anyway, I threw this together last minute today. They began operations in 2005, and it's run by a husband and wife team, Valeria, Udalova, Pride, and Danila Mendeleev. Pride is a extropian transhumanist name because based on pride in human potential, like Max Moore used to be called Max O'Connor before he adopted his extropian name. And Ben Best is not an extropian name, believe it or not, I was born with that name. Anyway, in September they had 51 patients, 25 full bodies, 26 heads and brains, 20 pets. They've got a major financer, this Russian billionaire, Andrei Fomenko, and I met Fomenko at this anti-aging conference in St. Petersburg last April. I visited CryoSuisse in April 2014, so my photos are out of date because a newer facility is being built, which is probably with this backing from this billionaire, probably a lot more high-end than the facility I'm showing pictures for. But there's Danila and there's Valeria, and the Yuri Pachugin, who used to work for the Cryonics Institute and developed the VM1 solution, is their chief scientific officer. He tells them what to do for perfusions and everything. This was the storage facility I visited, but now it's brought to Moscow, and it's a house in the storage facility close by the fence, and there's a bunch of the CryoSuisse staff and employees, and there's me with Vanilla, and this is URs for neuros, and it's a neurocan, and this is their cryostatic UR for liquidation, and they actually store patients in dry ice as well. So that doesn't seem very economical to me, long-term storage in dry ice, but that's what they're doing. That's another picture of that box. This is their cooling box. So I climbed up to get a closer look at the cryostatic UR. So this is what I see from the top. That's another view. And there I am looking down on the facility. And that's another view. And then they have their offices in Moscow. So this is in their office, and that's the perfusion pump that they have, and it's sitting in their office, not the storage facility. And that's another view of their perfusion pump. So that's pretty well my whirlwind tour. I just want to mention Bedford Day. James Bedford was the first cryonics patient. He was preserved in January 12, 1967. So January 27, 2017 will mark 50 years in liquidation for James Bedford. And it's the biggest cryonics holiday of the year. I hope everybody knows how to celebrate this holiday in an appropriate fashion. And on Bedford Day, I'll be giving a presentation about Bedford and biotechnology controversy, stem cells, genetic engineering, and so forth at Church of Perpetual Life, which is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I brought with me, since I'm working for the Life Extension Foundation, I brought with me some copies of the magazine I write for now, and it includes an article about me, about stem cells, and also an announcement about my Church of Perpetual Life Foundation. And anybody, I hope everybody will be interested in taking copies. That's it.